Mary saying the point about cauldron spilling and USA accusing China, very poignant and sensitive, and we agree better keep quiet about sensitive data. Yeah, we don't want to be accused of giving out this kind of statement or opinions. Yeah, you're right, Mary. So whatever we discuss in this workshop, a certain sensitive issue, let's keep it within the four walls, especially if we are pinpointing certain political parties or certain political figures. Okay, it's 2 p.m. Actually, there should be few more should be coming in, but I think today is still the Chinese New Year festive, so they may not be able to make it. No worries, we'll start on time at 2 p.m. So now since it's 2 p.m., we'll start now. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this Huang Jijing Si bi-monthly workshop. So let me go to my slides. So before I start, today is day 7 of the Lunar New Year, and it's also called the Renre. So therefore, I want to wish you all happy birthday and also a peaceful and a happy New Year. So may this special day, Renre Day, be a reminder of the importance of humanity, compassion, and being in harmony with the world around us. Unfortunately, what we are seeing right now happening in the world is not in harmony yet. I hope they can reach that point, okay, to sit down and talk harmoniously. Yeah. Okay. So some admin instructions, three for now. Number one, all of you will be muted as usual. Number two, the chat box is on the right. So you have opinion, experience, sharing, questions, statements, whatever. Type in the chat box on the right. Third, the entire session will be recorded so that once it's completed, it will be sent for processing the videos, and then it will be uploaded to the training portal. So right now, we have a new community channel at Heartbeat. So last workshop, I asked you all to join a community, right? That one, no more. Okay, that one no more. I find it not very stable. So I switch over to a new community platform called Heartbeat. Okay, so later I'll give you the link to it if you have not joined. That is more stable community workshop channel. Okay, so in that channel, in the community channel, you can also watch the video directly. Right, you don't have to. Now you have two options lah. One is to log into the training portal as usual, or go into the community channel and watch there directly. Also can. So I make that options available to you. Good afternoon, Fiona. And 恭喜发财 to you too. Okay, so I think I can skip this because we know each other for very well already. So I think I'll skip that part to save time. So but I have to put in this still. I have two house rules. Number one, don't believe a thing I say, because whatever I'm going to share with you in this workshop, okay, is all my interpretation of the hexagram energies, the verse, the commentaries, everything else, okay, and my insights too. Also, all those are mine, and for those who offer your opinion, those are your opinion too. Okay, so we won't hold each other accountable to why it happened or why it didn't happen, because this is our own interpretation. Yeah, so don't believe a thing we say lah. All right, next, learn with a growth mindset. Because up to today, I'm still learning about I Ching. So I wouldn't say I know everything about I Ching and what the I Ching verse say and how it's going to show up in real life, because I'm still learning. Every one of us is still learning. So let us learn together. And I find it very interesting to be able to come together, sit in this workshop, despite today is the 7th day of still Lunar New Year, and to discuss how the daily energy actually work out, right? So disclaimer, at the end of today's this workshop, all of you will the level of success, okay, will differ from person to person. Number one, because your level of understanding of the various fundamental concepts, techniques that I'm talking about, your level of understanding is different. Number two, the circle of competence in the subject matter could be different also, because I do not know much about financial market, but you may know a lot about it. So therefore, when I say something, it may ring the bell easier for you than some other people. Okay, so then next one is the time you devote to training and practices of the hexagram and of the 教室一零 and how to connect the dots together and form a insights. Okay, last but not least, Mary reminded me, thank you very much, Mary, is that whatever we discuss in this workshop for sensitive cases, especially if we are talking about political parties, political figures, and things like that, let's keep it within these virtual walls. Yeah. Don't share it outside. But if we talk about raining, whether it will rain or not, whether heavy rain or heavy snow, that one feel free to share. All right. Okay. But if it's sensitive enough, then we will just keep it within these four walls. So I leave it to your discretion. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. So I have a lot to share in this workshop. So if you have opinions on certain things or statements or experiences, do feel free to share in the chat box. Yeah. Like I said just now in the disclaimer, all those are your opinions. So we will not hold each other accountable for anything that we put out today. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to cover in today's 3-hour workshop, number one is reminders. Reminders meaning is to refresh a little bit like what is this 黄极经世, and then how do we read them? A very quick one so that we can put everyone up to speed on the same page, right? Then next, we flash back past 2 months. And after that, we go for a break and then we come back. We are going to do the forecast for the next 2 months. So for those who are in the financial market or who are interested in economic market or those who are planning to travel, do take note because there are some strong signals coming out for the next 2 months regarding these areas. Okay, so stay put with me. Yeah. All right. So are you all ready to get started? Type yes in the chat box if you are. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Kun Yong. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Ellen. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Let's move on. Okay, quick reminder. This is just a refresher, a quick one that you have learned in 黄极经世 year hexagram and day hexagram. Thank you, Andy, so that we can be on the same page together. Yeah. So the method of analysis that we are using for this workshop, number one is the hexagram name. For example, if it's a P quad, we know it's like a choke pipe. So that day energy or the period energy probably will see a lot of difficulties, obstacles, and stuckness, right? So to speak, about the hexagram name. Then the symbolism of the trigrams, what it looks like to you. 这个卦像什么? Sometimes it does like this lah. Third is the commentaries of the trigram, hexagram, and the lines as well. So in short, in Chinese, it's called the 卦辞啦、象辞啦、彖辞啦、爻辞啊、大象、小象啊, all these things will come into play. Yeah. And then next is because there's a transiting energy, so therefore we also look at the transition line, which is the line by line, and where is the yao, the 变爻, because the 变爻 can also tell us a lot of things. Okay, and last but not least, I also shared with you this forest of change. I'm not sure whether this is the correct amomia because I loosely translate from 教室意林 so I call it forest of change. Okay, so pardon me if you find that I use a wrong English name. Okay, and then last but not least is a dash of creativity, a creative imagination, and some common sense because the energy, although the verse says something, but we can infer. That's why we call I Ching is always called a 推理. 推理 means we infer based on that verse. Right? So, and then for those who have attended the AOM, the Art of Maneuvering series, you find this especially easy to understand as well. Okay. Okay, so just now I mentioned about 推理. Basically, when I look at the day-to-day, the hexagram or the period hexagram, it's a matter of inferring, okay, from the energy and what could the energy bring to us and how would it show up. So if, for example, if a hexagram plus another hexagram comes out, what could it mean to us in real life? Basically, this is called inference. Okay, next, important notes to take note of is number one, when I say this day has this hexagram, it doesn't mean that this hexagram will start from 0000 to 2359. It doesn't mean this way. Yeah? I think I've explained in details in the day hexagram workshop. Yeah, so it can start anytime in the day, okay, and then cut into the next day accordingly within that 24-hour span, right? So it doesn't mean it start from 0000. Huh? Okay, next is natural versus man-made calamities. Basically means if the energy comes out and it relate to natural, that means for example, heavy rain and flood and things like that. Most of the time, which I've observed, right, based on historical data, is that when the energy comes, the natural event will come along. Okay, but for man-made calamities like war, Russian war, or maybe a mass shooting, or what do you call that, fighting here and there, all these are man-made calamities. Those can be avoided, right? So, for example, if I know, let's say later on, if I share with you some travel advisories based on those energies, and then you avoided traveling on those period, and because of that, you avoided certain kind of calamities. So therefore, those man-made calamities could be avoided. Yeah. Next, the third one is the layers of energy influence, which this one I've discovered over a few workshops. Although we say that every day it has its own hexagram, now that hexagram will only be valid for the 24-hour. There is another parent energy called the 10-day energy. And then there's another grandparent energy called the 60-day energy. And then there's another grandparent called the 360-day, which means the entire year energy. So what I'm trying to tell you here, okay, is that the grander the parent, the influence is greater. So when I say the entire year, let's say for 2023, there'll be a lot of fighting, there'll be a lot of explosion and things like that. Then, okay, then this is the overarching energy for the entire year. So it may happen in certain months, even though that month may not point out energies relating to fighting or to explosion. Okay, so this is what I've discovered now. So let's discover together what else is there to be discovered, yeah, regarding the running energy. Okay, then to help us in our learning, I pull out from credible sources major events that really happen and can be related back to the hexagrams or to the energies. But then again, all these sources, they only report newsworthy articles. Yeah, so those deemed not newsworthy, they will probably just ignore it. So therefore, only most of the time, only crises and disasters are worth mentioning, right? Am I right? So therefore, when I search through the whole internet, right, most of the time, I can only find crises and disasters and all the negative kind of event. Good and positive one, very, very few. Okay, very, very few. Perhaps there is, right? For example, who become the king, who abdicate the throne and things like that. Maybe that become newsworthy articles. Okay, only those, then maybe we can find articles on that. Otherwise, it means that, let's say the hexagram for a certain day is saying about this. Sometimes I can't share with you or verify with you an actual event. It doesn't mean it never occur. It does that it could have occurred. Nobody reported about it, or it occurred. Somebody report, but I didn't manage to find. Okay, so it could what do you call that? I cannot verify. Doesn't mean it's not there lah. Basically, it's mean like that lah. Okay, so let's